The City of Manistee Planning Commission meeting for Thursday, March 7th, 2014. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Schmansky.
Here.
Commissioner Yoder.
Here.
Commissioner Weiner.
Here.
Commissioner Memberto. Here. Commissioner McBride.
Here.
Vice Chair Slavinsky.
Here.
Chair Whitliff.
Here, thank you. Approval of agenda. At this time, the Planning Commission can take action to approve the March 7th, 2024 agenda.
I'll
There a
make that
motion?
motion.
Motion by Mick, second
I'll second.
by Pam. Discussion? No discussion? Please take roll.
Commissioner Schmansky.
Yes.
Commissioner Yoder.
Yes.
Commissioner Weiner.
Yes.
Commissioner Memberto.
Yes.
Commissioner McBride.
Yes.
Vice Chair Slavinsky.
Yes.
Chair Whitliff.
Yes,
Motion passed.
thank you. Conflicts of interest. Is there any member, that has any type of conflict with tonight's agenda? None? Okay.
No.
Approval of minutes. This time, the Planning Commission can approve the February 1st, 2024 meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Bob, second.
Second.
Pam? No, I mean Marlene, sorry. Discussion? None, please take roll.
Commissioner Schmansky.
Yes.
Commissioner Yoder.
Yes.
Commissioner Weiner.
Yes.
Commissioner Memberto.
Yes.
Commissioner McBride.
Yes.
Vice Chair Slavinsky.
Yes.
Chair Whitliff.
Yes, thank you.
Motion passed.
Correspondence? Is there any correspondence?
None at this time.
Thank you. Presentations. First is Madeline Lamb, Johnson Sign Company. Welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me. And thank you for Teresa. Thank you, Teresa, for inviting me. I may have over-prepared a little bit, but here we go. Just wanted to say that this presentation it is about signage and how signage affects the streetscape in the community. And it does reflect my personal and professional biases, so keep that in mind. And also, I'm not a great PowerPoint presenter, so I will be reading many of my slides. That's violating the #1 rule of PowerPoint presentations, but here we go. So behind me here, I have my slide, and the title of my presentation is Where Shall We Go? What Shall We Do? How Signs Help You Find Your Way in Manistee. Almost all signs are for wayfinding, for finding your way towards a point of interest, and for knowing when you've arrived. Manistee has a unique character, a sense of place. Its signs help to say there's a there, and it's worth experiencing. So signs attract and signs inform. Signs are an invitation to experience, so why limit signs at all?
Mark said so.
Hey, look, no signs, so pretty. This certainly is a beautiful landscape, but there's nothing to do here and nowhere to stop, even if there were. This is a place for driving through and not going to. In contexts like this, there's no need for signs. Nope, I lied. That was a doctored photo. There's actually signs here too. But signs can get out of hand, right? We've all seen them. So scary, isn't it? No one wants their city's roads to be ruined by signs, like in this photo. But I did a little research, and this photo is actually fake. And this is Dort Highway, just outside Flint, and it actually looks like this. And signscapes like this one emerge organically from the context of businesses that are positioned along high-speed traffic corridors, also known as stroads, which is a term that's kind of coming into planning parlance that I've picked up, that it's a a road that's high speed that has a lot of like kind of spaced out businesses. That's what Dort Highway is here, and they're basically everywhere all over America. But Dort Highway here, the speed limit is 50 miles per hour. So we go back to this sign, like these cars are traveling, which this is very foreshortened. This I don't know how they doctored this photo, but it's definitely not
Right.
how it actually looks. But these are all traveling at 50 miles per hour. So if that Radio Shack, which I'm sure isn't there anymore, wanted you to pull over, you know, get into the turn lane and pull into the parking lot in time, you know, it has to have a sign like this. That's how signs work. Businesses in this context require this kind of signage to attract customers and revenue. A restrictive sign ordinance would not solve this road problem. This is actually 10 minutes away from that other beautiful scenic forest road picture from the earlier slide too. This is another example of a photo that's frequently used when people are criticizing or voicing their concerns about signage proliferation in the landscape. This is a freeway exit. Is it a blight on the landscape? I mean, the traffic on the road that these signs are signaling to is going 75 miles per hour. So in the sign industry, we calculate the speed of travel and the viewing distance to determine the ideal size and height for a sign in order for it to be effective at inviting people to stop. Along a 50-mile-per-hour road, the sign needs to be 8 feet wide to be seen in time to turn. When inviting people to exit the freeway to fuel up, your sign better be 16 feet wide on an 80-foot pylon pole, or no one is ever going to see it in time to stop. So that's just the reality of how the context of the sign's location necessitates a certain size. Kind of review slide. In some contexts, a small sign is best. In other contexts, you need a 20-foot cabinet on an 80-foot pole. The type of sign is a function of the context. The design, materials, construction, and lighting are just the means of creative expression that businesses use to craft the aesthetic of their invitation. The combination of the context of the streetscape and the character of the businesses therein combine to determine the character of both the signs and the character of the street. Oops. Restrictions on signs do not solve issues of unsavory businesses, and they do not solve issues of context. Worse, extreme restrictions make it difficult for businesses to attract customers or cultivate a thriving economy. But signs can sometimes be ugly. What's the alternative? On the other extreme, a lack of signs says pass us by. Businesses need signs to thrive, to invite customers, to bring revenue that keeps the community healthy. Businesses, government, and community, a thriving economy is in everyone's best interest. The signage style is emerging from the necessities of the context in which they are situated. Looking at the historic context makes this clear. This is a picture of Manistee, of course, many, many years ago. So the left picture, I'm not sure of the year, but 1910 maybe. Prior to automobile dominance, eye-level signs in shop windows invited pedestrians and other passers-by to stop and browse. The right-hand picture, maybe 20, 30 years later. With the advent of automobiles came large overhead projecting signs, because signs needed to be seen from farther away by people traveling at higher speeds in cars. Signs also needed to be seen over the cars parked in the street that blocked the views of the shop windows. This is a recent picture of the Manistee streetscape. I'm not sure what year this is, but I'd say it's maybe 5 years ago. More than rules or any other factor, it's the presence of cars and their speed that creates the context for the forms of signs we see in Manistee today. So articles exist showing pictures of Stroads and freeway exit commercial zones and threaten that if you're not careful, signs are what could turn your quaint downtown into the nightmarish doctored photo of Dork Highway. But of course they won't. And if you want to ensure that, then the answer is more in the streetscape and the traffic design than in the sign ordinance. The signs in this business district, pictured here, I'm not actually sure where this is, maybe Boulder, Colorado? Anyway, they suit the context
Maybe.
of this.
Could have
What's
been
that?
Kalamazoo.
It may be Denver, but not Boulder.
I'm actually not sure. I just kind of plucked this video off the Google search images, but this is a pedestrian business district, of course, and you can barely see the signs at all from this vantage point, but as you're walking around and browsing at low speed, you would of course be able to see what's in all the shop windows. It'd be very inviting. So some people think they don't like signs, but it's probable that what they actually don't like is that every place is designed around being in cars. So change is inevitable. Technology evolves, everyone adapts. Today's innovation becomes tomorrow's nostalgia. Future of signage is, as it ever was, an invitation to experience and a way to find your way. So to conclude, I have some inviting signs from our beautiful town of Manistee. Invitation to experience history, taste, fun, entertainment, simple conveniences, traditions, staying a while. So welcome to Manistee, you're invited. We'll help you find your way to all it has to offer. Thank you, everyone, for your time. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have, Madeline, just, the committee may have some questions.
Sure, of course.
Oh,
Have anything?
God.
He starts with, oh,
So
God.
what's your reasoning for this? Do you make signs or are you?
Yes, I work in the sign industry. I work for Johnson Sign Company here in Manistee.
That's what I've never heard of you.
It's Amor.
Amor.
Over Amor.
The old name.
Oh, the old Amor. Okay,
Yes,
I
it was a
see.
merger a couple years ago, and
They sent you out here now to sell signs.
well, Teresa invited me here to talk about signs.
Well, that's a good
and
idea.
I kind of used the pretense of signs to talk about what I wanted to talk about, which is,
Who designed the sign of Manistee?
we did, Johnson Sign Company did, the company I work for.
On your own, with any input from the city, or just where did you get the?
The city commissioned this project.
Yes.
But our designers designed it, and it was built right over in East Lake
Okay.
at
Okay.
our production facility in East Lake.
Okay. Well, there's some question on the welcomeness of that sign, and I was just wondering where it came from. But you guys designed it and thought it was a.
Well, it was approved by someone here at the city. I wasn't the project manager on this particular project. Tom Amor was.
Oh, okay.
So that would be a question for him in terms of who all's input went into it. But generally, how these projects go, the customer has different degrees of creative input just depending on their vision and how well formed their vision is. Some customers have everything all drawn out and planned out. They know exactly what they want, and we just make it happen. And other customers are just like, well, I like the color green,
Yeah.
and I like, maybe they like a font or something, but they have no idea what they want. And so then our designers do more.
Yeah. Yeah.
This particular project, I mean, I know that logo is an official City of Manistee logo.
Okay.
Those fonts and that all lowercase and everything, that's official Manistee branding in the official Manistee style book. So I would say the main thing that we would have contributed to this design would have been the overall shape of the sign, the fin,
Oh.
the masonry base.
Because
you know.
weren't we the Victorian port city? And now we're changed to woods and water or something?
We lost that title, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean,
We
Yeah.
lost it, yeah.
I think
How
that's,
do you lose that?
Somebody didn't pay the bill.
yeah. But I wondered if that had anything to do with it. Our new logo is, what is it, Spirit of the Woods and Fish of the Water or something?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know what it is.
I
What
just
is it?
think we're so used to seeing
Yeah,
all the
okay, that's all right.
Victorian images, and this is some more modern,
It's
like maybe
It's
you're
the other
going
side of
into
East River.
college or
Oh, okay.
hospital, you know, type things.
Like I said, I wasn't the project manager on this particular project, so I don't have all of the information, but I do know that the city would have been very involved in this design process and would have had to.
Oh, they would
you
have had
know,
to say something.
have their input and make approvals along the way for all of the different design and construction elements, so.
Mhm.
um,
She has started giving us things that are coming up, things that have been voted on and stuff, but we never see any of this until all of a sudden you drive by and it's on the road.
Yeah.
And then people ask you, oh, how come they changed the signs? That's, I think, what he's trying to say to you.
is
Okay.
that- Yeah, I mean, I know if I had been the project manager on this job, I would have gone through my contact person, say my contact person was Teresa, I don't imagine you're the one that worked on this with Tom,
No,
but
nope.
if it was Teresa, my communication would be with her, she's the one that contacted us
City
about the
council, yeah, it
project.
was even
And
before
then
Mark Miller.
if she invited me to come talk to all of you about the project, I would be more than happy to do that, and I have gone before church councils and,
Oh, sure.
you know, various groups like that for
Yeah.
this kind of thing, you know, to make sure that everybody is, you know, in line with the same vision for the project, all the interested parties, and
Okay,
that is something we do. As to why you guys in particular weren't brought in on this project,
Never been informed of anything going. And people say, well, you're on the planning and zoning, how come? I said, well, they don't, unless that needs special permits or something, we don't, it comes before us, we don't know about it. So she's been great at giving us updates on things going on and being rebuilt and permits and stuff. So now we're on top of what's happening. And then you won't drive by and say, oh, where did that come from, you know?
I can find out tomorrow who the main contact of the city was on these Welcome to Manistee signs, but I don't have that information.
It doesn't
with
matter.
me
Doesn't
tonight.
matter, it's a
No.
moot point now.
They're
They look
nice.
great. Yeah.
They're very welcoming.
yeah, they're accepting. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I just
Much
wondered.
better than our previous sign.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
It's updated.
Thank you.
Looks nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any other questions?
I like the sign.
Okay.
Oh, fantastic
Tammy?
Well, they're
presentation.
supposed to do
No.
that.
Thank you.
Pam, you have anything?
No, I don't.
Nick?
No, sir.
Nope. Bob? Okay, I have a question,
Oh.
off the wall
I knew-
question on it.
Yeah.
Is the brick real on the bottom?
It's real masonry, it's not plastic.
Okay,
But it's like a veneer, a masonry veneer
Okay.
product. It's not like a stacked.
Okay, all right, just an
isn't
odd.
that a simple yes or no
We
answer?
actually, we cement those together in our shop in Eastlake, and so we bring it like as a fully cemented together piece on our truck and mount it on the footings on site, so we don't even build those masonry,
Okay,
uh,
I think it's cool. Very nice.
Now, who maintains that, Marco?
City.
City.
City? Okay.
So I had Madeline come to my HDC meeting, and she was presenting for a sign, and I thought she had so much good information and was so knowledgeable, so I said, it was my idea, I said, hey, we need to have her come here, because as we go further in the agenda, I do have a sign that she has worked on that we're gonna talk about, and then she can also at that point tell you some other signs that we've approved in the past couple months, so.
Yeah, it's a good idea to keep a good relationship with
At
us.
least we know who she is now and that, so it's good to know all the people that do work for us in the city.
Yep,
Well, it's nice to have different presenters come in. Madeline's tonight, so
yeah.
signage
Yeah.
Madeline's tonight.
Madeline and her other sister Madeline.
Sister
Well,
Madeline.
thank you, Madeline 1, and we'll go to Madeline 2 now.
I'll just say, I don't have a presentation. First of all, I didn't even know this presentation. Mark told me nothing about this. He said, "Oh, just
did too.
No, you didn't. You're like, oh, we talk to come speak and say your thoughts,
my
how you think Manistee could
You're
be
killing
better."
You run some products at the store.
You mansplained to me what I. Just kidding.
Now you sound like my wife.
Just kidding.
Business area boycotting now?
We're getting personal.
We're done.
I am reverse. Okay, I'm Madeline Fitzsimmons, and I own Trophies Cafe, which used to be Goodies, and I also own Millennial Decor, and I also have a photo booth, which I haven't used in a long time, but I do own it. But I moved to this town, I think it's 8 years ago now. Wow. And I'm originally from California. And I met my husband actually in Hawaii, and he's from Grand Rapids. His family had a cottage here. You know how it goes. We came here once. We're like, oh, it's so cute. And then we ended up moving here. And it's been amazing. I was in real estate when I first started. Me and Pam worked together. And I fell in love with the architecture and history of this town. And I think that the history of this town is so incredibly overlooked, or maybe not overlooked, but not advertised enough. And I think that a lot of people are drawn here, I think, from just pure nostalgia and almost wanting to be a part of the history of this town. And it's almost like magical when people come in. I put in trophies, I got a bunch of old team photos from Manistee, and I put them up, and it's crazy how many people are like, oh, is this like all from like Manistee? And I'm like, yeah, no, this is like a crazy historical town. Like, you know, people look at the ceilings like, oh my God, so cool. It's like, yeah, our building is like over 100 years old. Like where I'm from in California, all the buildings are, you know, were built in the 90s, and there's the downtown, but it's just not like that. And Mark was talking about how you guys are discussing doing streetscaping, and he mentioned trees in memoriam, and I loved that idea. I think that people want to be a part of this town. I think any way that they could put some sort of part on this town and also pay for the trees, you know, that would be super, super win-win here. I think that we don't take advantage of things like that enough. I think that a lot of the big city people that move here want to be a part of this and want to contribute, but I feel like they also don't know how to be a part of it. I have so many people come into trophies be like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what's going on in this town, tell me what's going on. So I'm like constantly telling people what's happening. Goodies used to have this huge bulletin board, and it hasn't been there, and it's like the end of the world because no one knows what's going on in this town because that one bulletin board is not there. And it's crazy how much that one bulletin board has like the effect on so many people because it's like their one source of information. And it's crazy, like I'm starting a group called the Manistee Entrepreneur Network, because a lot of entrepreneurs just want other people in town to talk to, especially since a lot of us entrepreneurs are either locals or not from here. So it's an interesting group of people that have a lot of information. So I've been getting a lot of information from people that want to be a part of things in this town. I have someone who is looking to open a wellness store. They love the organic store, but they feel like it does not tailor the tourists in the summer. Like, we love that store, God bless them, but like their fridges have been down for like 3 years. And I don't know if they're ever gonna replace their fridges. But like even they have smoothies and like juices in there, and no one really knows that. And I think that that's something that tourists really want in this town. I think that there's a lot of people that want to be a part of it that, I don't know, maybe haven't been able to be a part of it. And being in the downtown district is interesting. because I recently went to a downtown meeting, which was eye-opening because we recently had the chili cook-off, and I don't know if you guys went to the chili cook-off or not or knew about it. It was awesome, but from a business standpoint, it didn't do me any good. The chili cook-off used to be a chili crawl. So at least in the winter, you could get exposure to people who may have never been in your store, or maybe don't ever come into your store unless they get free chili, and that's okay, because then they can see what's there, tell other people things. It's all about exposure. And even that one thing that we used to have, they brought it back, and then it was in a parking lot, which some businesses have a hard time with people coming in for free things, which I totally understand. But there's almost like a balance that we need to have, because I love the community, but I also, like, next winter, I probably won't have trophies open for the winter because it's just not sustainable. There's a gap in distribution. Cisco only delivers on like Fridays and Sundays in the winter. And for me, when I'm only ordering, like in the summer, it's like I'm getting every week, twice a week. But in the winter, I only need to order like twice a month. So it's really hard to even have inventory. The other day, everyone was like, oh, can I have this? Can I have this? I'm like, yeah, I'm out of that. I'm out of that. I'm out of that. And it's like hard, because then I almost have to jack up prices to make sure that I can have my inventory and stay open. And then I don't want to have tourist prices, so it's like, it's very hard to have a business, for sure, in the downtown district specifically. But I think we almost should encourage more downtown businesses to close in January and February in the cold months. It might support the other businesses outside of the downtown little bubble that we have, which I think would be beneficial for other people. And I think it would save, I don't know. I think that there's something to that. And I think that it's almost like frowned upon here to be closed for a couple months. It's almost like you're afraid you're going to lose those locals, because if you close for that, then you're basically just a tourist location. But so there's almost like a balance that needs to be found for that. But that's just what I've seen. Millennial Decor, my other business, which is interior design, is all year round. It's wild. It's crazy. People are building houses like crazy. There's not enough contractors, but there's also too many contractors. But there are also a lot. I tried to work with, as an interior designer, I tried to partner with 2 contractors, one of them from Grand Rapids. Ended up parting ways with him because he ended up charging an extra 5% to come up here to work for clients. And that would demand funds like the minute after he would get like done with work, which I understand, but I also work by the 30-day policy. So that one didn't work out. Then I had another one. He ended up overcharging a client. Everyone knows how it goes. It's really hard. But I switched from interior design to trying to do project management for these contractors, and I really understood actually how hard it is, how you get treated by human beings as a project manager and or contractor. And it's really difficult. And also finding people to be able to do the quality work that people here that are building are paying for. Yeah. It's almost impossible. I'm like at a loss with I've started having to contact contractors out of town, which I didn't want to do, but it's, I see how hard it is. There's also, like material stuff. And I think that coming from selling furniture as well, distribution and like shipping is a big issue here. We're in like a weird pocket where we're just out of the zone where people deliver to or come to. And I think that we almost need to fill that gap. It's like if we're looking for people to come in and like start big corporations or whatever, I think that if we had like a Cisco hub here or like a Gordon's Foods, I mean, the closest Gordon Foods is in Cadillac So it's like if we had something here, it would provide jobs. It would also provide for the local businesses here, which would help us significantly. Because then we could do local pickups, so then I don't have to do a minimum of $1,200 for an order in the winter, so that I'm not running out of inventory. You know, there's like a lot of things that are win-win situations, I think, that we could do. I'd love to pick everyone's brain about any of that. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I've just been like brain dumping, I guess.
That's all right. Now for the questions.
Yeah, give it to me.
Okay. Roger, we'll start with you again.
Well, if you know what we need, why don't you stop what you're doing and create what we need?
Love that.
Well, I mean, you know we need a distribution center.
Yeah.
So why focus on a restaurant when you know you can't handle it? Put your energy in something that, like a distribution center.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll be frank with you. I would hate doing a distribution center. I love people. Well, I mean, not that I wouldn't be working with people, but I'm a very creative human being.
Okay.
I actually started the coffee shop because it was a whole situation with Goodies. And I was next door to them in Millennial Decor already. And Rita Blamer, who had owned Goodies before, had just sold Goodies to someone else. She ended up just leaving everything inside. So it was kind of a no-brainer for me to take the lease over there and start the coffee shop because it literally had all the inventory, all the equipment. And my brother-in-law also has businesses here in town. And we wanted to keep Goodies alive. I had heard that the gold and silver shop was going in there. And so I was like, nope, we're doing it. We're going in there,
Oh, yeah.
doing it. So that's why I started Trophies.
Okay.
Yeah. So I hope to make it, I want to keep it in the town. I mean, Goodies was there for 20 years. This was going to be there 20 years. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to, that was my main purpose of Trophies.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
You saw what that happened.
Yeah.
How's that treating you?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard, but it's incredibly fun. I like being challenged a lot. And it's, interior design is very meticulous work, creative, you know, right brain, whatever it is. And Trophies is almost the opposite of it. I made cookies today.
Yeah.
You know, I don't make cookies in my interior design studio. I'm like making 3D models, you know, and like every measurement has to be like exact. So making cookies is almost like therapeutic now. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good for you. I hope it
Marlene?
works out.
I'm an import from downstate.
Yeah.
Been coming here 30 years, living full-time, maybe 26 or something.
Okay.
When I first came here and went downtown, I was just happy-go-lucky. There was so
Yeah.
many stores.
Yes.
9 o'clock at night, there's people in and out the stores. And I just was in every store down there and stuff.
Yeah.
And I did all my Christmas shopping and everything. And this is like a good old boys network. And sometimes they put
Yeah.
on bringing things in. But now our downtown is like a ghost town. To go down there, there's not enough to really draw you down.
I
look
totally
down
agree.
there.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you're old and chunky like me, you can't find anything there. I mean, you can go to Glicks and stuff if you're young and anorexic, you find all, you know? But to draw you down there and like
I totally agree.
restaurants, if it hasn't got a bar in it, there's
Yeah.
no family style restaurants and stuff. And they just keep drawing away from that instead of deviate, instead of trying to entice things here.
Yeah.
That's where some of the problem lies, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I've been trying to convince a friend of mine who has a building on River Street that he needs to open a children's play place on the lower level. Because a lot of kids in the summer, like a lot of parents just want to dump their kids somewhere, you know, for lack of better speaking, you know, they just want to put them there and the kids would be able to have fun. And we were just talking about the summer camps here. Me and one of my coworkers, we were just talking about the summer camps here and how amazing they are And I'm just like, wow, there's a lot of activities at the Lutheran summer camp, for instance, in Onekama, they have like climbing wall, water slide, like all these things. And it's just like, what do the kids have to do downtown to make the parents want to come and walk them around? It's like, even like if I'm thinking Traverse City, they at least have like even a popcorn place where the kids can go in and have popcorn or something. We now have the toys place, which is awesome. So now that's something for the kids.
And the Outsider has.
Yeah, and the
video
Outsider has
games.
the arcade games. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I know we used to get a lot of questions from people that come here. And at that time, we didn't even have the theater open.
Yeah.
What's there to do for family kids and stuff? We had nothing. If it was raining,
Yeah,
and go to the beach, so there was nothing. And we're just slowly getting into having stuff like that. 'Cause we had a teacher's toy store for years, and then it closed up.
Yeah.
That you could get kids' books and games and toys. So it's nice to see something on
Yeah.
that order back in town again.
yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I'm so happy Patrick and Anita did that. They've been doing great things for downtown, that's for sure.
Great presentation.
Wow, thanks.
Well, but you got me really thinking about some things. I had no idea that, like, to the downtown area, distribution of just food would be so. But I think I have some ideas. I had no idea what you were going to bring tonight, so it's interesting. Most of what you have said, I'm probably going to sit over the next couple of days and kind of digest it. And so I hope you don't mind if
No.
at some point you can either come back or we can reach out or.
Yeah, of course.
What- If Madeline would like to come back, sure.
Yeah, sure. You let me know.
Pam?
You bring up a lot of good points, and you're right, if you do close for those 2 months, you're gonna tick off a certain clientele.
Yeah, but how
Maybe
often do they
more
come?
than
Yeah.
like the stores being open, because I live here year round. But I understand not being able to make it. You have to make it
Yeah.
enough in the summertime to do it. And like you, I was really interested in the chili cook-off until I found out it was in the parking lot. And I went,
Yeah.
that's not a chili cook-off.
And it was freezing that day. I mean, it was
was
really a
cold.
frostbite.
It was cold, and I understand that people considered it a success, but
Yeah.
I like that crawl that we used to have.
Yeah, me too.
As I recall, it was more in the evening, and it brought more people downtown
Like
in
on
the
a late
evenings.
Saturday
Yeah.
afternoon.
And I would like to see
Yeah.
more of those kinds
They
of.
used to go to the.
Yeah, me
businesses,
too.
Every business had something.
Every business.
Yeah.
had one, and,
Yeah.
and I thought that was a really good draw to get people in. like,
Yes.
um,
Yeah.
And out of the cold.
Especially
And out of the cold.
Yeah.
It was cold outside, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I understand how hard it is to work with contractors. I had my house remodeled, and
Yeah.
being in real estate, you know how wonderful some people can be.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, you brought up a lot of good points to think about, though, so thank you for coming.
Good. I'm glad.
Nick?
A friend of mine is a designer, and actually they're retired now, but
Okay.
down in the Fenville is where they lived, but they worked the Saugatuck area
Okay.
for 50 years.
Okay.
And they had their own team.
Yeah.
That's how they got around it.
Yes.
They had all the, not the general contractor work, but all the finish work.
Yeah.
They had their own painter, they had their own finishing guy who did the woodwork, they had their cabinet maker. They worked together. So
Yeah.
whenever they did a project, they had that sharp expertise where every joint was perfectly cut. The paint was done, the wallpapers,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. So that might be something to think about. There's
Yeah.
the skills are there. It's collecting them and being able to kind of, build that team when you go to do a job is something you
Yeah.
can think about.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And that's, the other thing is with Gordon's, and maybe you do know, but they have a van delivery now, and it's only a $75 minimum, they charge 6%. So
Yes.
for a small order, it's nothing.
Yeah. Yes.
And they'll come twice a week.
Okay.
But it's a
Okay.
minimum of $75, and they have a 6% upcharge.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and that's out of Cadillac also.
Okay.
So that might help,
Yeah.
because I cook over at the American Legion as a volunteer.
Okay. Yeah, I only get stuff from Cisco and our pastry chef in Meyer.
So, but that's another thing to think about.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
they're competitive in price, they're
Yeah.
similar.
Yeah, they have. And it's nice that they have a store in Traverse City too.
Yep.
Yeah, because I've been there multiple times, bought stuff
But the
there.
nice thing about working with Cadillac is, they just drop the stuff off on Monday, they have Monday and Wednesday deliveries.
Okay, that's cool. I'll look into that, yeah.
And because they're using a van that has a refrigerated compartment, they can make it economically instead of taking their big trucks like Cisco does and running
Yeah.
to Grand Rapids or.
Yeah, because they're taking it semi everywhere.
Yep. The other thing is, you're mentioning, Marlene mentioned all of the people downtown when she first moved here. There was an additional 6,000 people in Manistee at that time, and 4,000 of them were union employees that were working shifts.
Yeah,
So the downtown boomed because there were 8 bars,
right.
and there was 12 restaurants.
Yeah.
Now, most of the 8 all had food, right? All
Yeah.
the bars served food. And then you had other restaurants in town. So people, like I said, my 4 o'clock in the afternoon is your 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Think old-fashioned
Yeah.
surf.
it made a big difference in our downtown because it was booming when I was a kid.
was.
Yeah, we're an industrial town, like, that's the thing too. It's like, I can't afford to go get a coffee every day.
Yeah.
Like, let alone, like, expecting everyone else to, like, come in and get a
And-
couple.
Yeah, and the thing is, Manistee too, we had, like I said, probably half of the workforce was union workforce.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
people made a decent wage and were able to raise a family and have a home and go downtown and shop.
right. Well, and I even heard too that I didn't know that the Hampton didn't have an event center on the inside.
They have a small,
Okay,
very small, about 45 people, and then plus the upstairs can be used for a larger event. If you
Okay.
take in the whole upstairs, and that's about 125.
okay, cool. Because I was trying to think of some sort of events we could have in the winter that would draw people into Manistee to shop downtown in the winter. And I was
About having weddings up there. Or
like, oh, where could even things be inside? And
How did Sleigh Bell work for you? Was that a good, bad, indifferent?
it was the same sales as Labor Day weekend. I personally, this might blow your minds, and I'll probably make some people just upset. I think that Sleigh Bell should be moved the same week as Thanksgiving.
Moved? You can't move that sleigh bell parade.
Why can't you?
Lions game.
I think that we would literally double the attendance. All of my interior design clients that come into town, they come into town for Thanksgiving and they stay until that Tuesday. And everybody that I know leaves. My parents were in town. They had to go to the Ludington parade because they were here for Thanksgiving. And our parade was the week. So I don't know. I think that's something to consider.
Ludington's parade used to be the same weekend as us. Ludington backed theirs up to get away from ours.
Wouldn't
That's what they did.
So,
that be
I
fun?
have the parade on a Friday night, but people that worked and people that came from out of town couldn't get here.
That makes sense. Yeah, that totally makes
So
sense.
then they moved it to Saturday and
Yeah,
And the interesting thing why they picked that week is that what it does do is it brings a lot of people that we have a larger retiree population.
yeah,
So their families are living everywhere else. So
yes,
Christmas becomes, this is a way for families to get together that wouldn't be together for Christmas because they have their own families, A, B, C, D.
right, right.
So that's kind of why I think they picked that first full week
Yeah.
in December.
so
I
when
could
are
totally
your
see that, yeah.
parents coming, when are your parents coming this year so we can plan?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know yet. Yeah, they came last Thanksgiving,
Oh.
and they were there they were in Canada the week prior because they were trying to see the fall colors because the fall colors were kind of late this year.
Robert?
I want to know when the pop machine's gonna get fixed. I don't drink coffee. Every time I visit, nope.
Dude, It's a whole freaking thing. I'm gonna throw that pop machine out the window and just get cans because it's ridiculous.
Every time I went there, nope, it's not fixed yet, not fixed yet.
It would get fixed and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, your CO2's out. And I'm like, just refilled it yesterday.
I still think we need men's shops downtown like we used to have. I'm tired of going to Muskegon or Traverse City to find something decent.
Men's shop, is that what you said?
Yeah, we used to have.
What is that?
We used to have,
Oh,
You had the
clothing shops.
Toggery, you had Bill
Toggery.
Moore's,
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 men's shops where you go buy your suits and
Thompson's.
stuff.
Kmart, we used to have Kmart.
I think, like, this, also just say this last thing, just because I think if I shouldn't say that we should encourage people to close for the winter, because I don't want to encourage people, but I want it to be not as shameful. Like, I think that maybe more people would put their store in if they knew they could close it without repercussions. I don't know.
Comes down to what type of business it is. Some of them
Yeah.
would stay open, some, yeah, you're gonna understand they're gonna close in the winter.
Well, and part of it too, you have to consider is retaining your staff.
Yeah.
Some, if you close for 2 months, the staff is gone other places. When you come back, you start over
Yep.
every single year. And it depends on what you're delivering, whether or not that is appropriate or not.
Yeah, for sure.
Barista is, a little bit more technical than people think.
Yeah.
So you may want to be able to retain that person,
Yeah.
11 months out of the year. And then just close for 1 month in February.
Also may put
Take a
the
lot.
business
Yeah.
to another place, and if another place that the business is all pushed to picks up, maybe they can pick up ours.
It was just like the business my son works for. They close for the 2 weeks over Christmas and New Year's. And that's it. They
Yeah.
plan for it. So it's
Four
normal.
Winds used to do the same thing.
My
yeah.
son's.
Germany closes in the month of August.
Yes, they do.
Almost everything other
Yeah.
than the places like downtown.
Right.
But all of the worker bees, they all have the month off and they go to the United States, they go do their vacationing. So.
Yeah, definitely.
That's something to think
Like
about.
Bob, I'm not a coffee drinker either, I'm a tea drinker,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard to find a good cup of tea around here.
We have Harney and Sons tea. I mean, it's good tea.
Well, I love coffee, so
I love
From New York.
I'll drink coffee.
is that it, Bob?
If you're looking for a place to hold events and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the board of the Council on Aging.
Okay.
Ever been to the old St. Mary's Church?
Yes,
where we
of course. I used to live on St. Mary's.
We have weddings and different things, and different
Yes.
groups come and have things in our building and stuff.
And you just live.
Yeah, and you guys have good parking too. Yeah. Yeah. I think some sports events here would be really, I am a part of a volleyball group and they play outdoor volleyball in the winter. They have tournaments. So I'm like, we could have an outdoor volleyball tournament here, So I was driving around trying to figure out where I'm at.
They came,
This outdoor volleyball tournament.
some came and played volleyball in our building.
Okay.
They did chair volleyball.
Yeah, we did chair, that was fun.
in the building.
Oh my
In the
God.
building, it was
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it was
awesome.
fun. We did chair volleyball, it was fun.
Good for you.
Okay, my turn.
Yeah, your turn.
Okay. On your millennial decor, do you have more residential or commercial when you're working on that?
For sure residential. Yeah. Really, I don't think I've ever had contact with someone who was doing like a commercial building here,
Okay, yeah,
besides my brother-in-law.
they're pretty rare here, but,
Yeah.
so is it all, I mean, you work just in Manistee, Onekama, do you go out to surround?
No, I've gone out to Everett, which is all the way past Cadillac towards, if you keep going east, which is an hour and a half. I've done projects in Grand Rapids. I mean, I can do most of my stuff online, so then it's really, I'm anal about seeing things, so it's more of me needing to go drive somewhere, but I mean,
But you should.
yeah.
And then you did bring up a good point on distribution for food. Maybe Gordon's could go into the old Olson's building. I mean, that is a underused facility.
Yeah.
Even a FedEx or something,
You know,
UPS,
you know,
yeah.
and
Yes.
with your
yeah, those are
residential
good benefits, good jobs.
lumberyard, That's just, me thinking that.
Yeah,
We only have one, we're down to one lumberyard now.
yeah, I use Honor Building, not Honor, but Onekama Building Supply.
But I mean, you have to travel, go to Necoma, it's still a half hour. By the time you get back, you're down 2 hours.
Yep.
Ludington's even worse.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
we definitely need lumber.
Yeah.
yeah.
And maybe a small Gordon's distribution point here.
Even just a
Something-
distribution center for a lot of things. They're doing Amazon delivering now. I mean, maybe they could make that a little bit bigger. I don't know.
And it's-
Amazon's putting a huge place in Traverse City.
But the problem that we have is that we don't have a 4-lane
Across
highway.
from,
Oh, okay,
That's why
okay.
the
You know where the
distribution
boat store is
is,
now? Yeah.
is not
big field.
likely.
That makes sense.
Until, but the 4-lane should go
No
from
reason not to go to
Manistee to
Traverse.
Cadillac. M55,
Right.
Not
we,
that way,
half
go the
or
other way.
better is all
Done.
state or
Right.
federal land.
Actually, M55 was originally designed to be a 4-lane because it is a 200-foot wide corridor that the state of Michigan owns from Manistee to Cadillac.
So it's
So
just
we've
a
been
matter
trying
of getting enough
Yeah,
Yeah.
push. But
Yeah.
we had a 4-lane because then we're connected to the interstate. We
yeah.
have a 4-lane all the way to an interstate.
Came-
That would make a big difference
If
on.
it came from Ludington, we couldn't do it because it was still the nearest path they had would cut through Wellston.
Right.
Because that's what the original state plans were for the freeway when it came up north of Ludington. It was gonna go just west of Wellston. It wasn't even come close to the city.
Right. But that would have still made a difference if it was,
Oh, yeah.
8
miles away.
Yeah, and it was gonna be more than 8 miles. It was gonna be almost downtown Dublin.
Well, thank you.
Wellston, gonna get wiped out.
You're welcome. Is that it?
That is it. Thank you.
That's it.
I'm glad I got you guys talking. I like
Oh,
that.
thank you.
I do have a question for Madeline Lamb. I wrote it down. Did you do the elk sign? Did Johnson do the elk sign? We did. That's wonderful. Very nice.
Okay.
Very nice. Okay, that one's off the list. Okay, move to public comments on agenda-related items. All comments and handouts from the speaker at the podium will go through the chair. Also, there will not be any interaction between the podium and audience. If these rules cannot be followed, the chair can terminate this portion of the meeting. Speaker at the podium has 5 minutes to address the planning commission. So if anybody would like to say something, please come to the podium, name and address, please. You have 5 minutes. Nothing? Pardon?
Do I really have to come up there?
You betcha.
You're,
We don't get much public.
I'm Randy Scarra, for those of you who don't know me. And I was born here and never left.
Could we get your address too, please?
Pardon me?
Address?
Cherry Road, 2189.
Okay. That's in Manistee, correct?
Yep,
Okay, we're good.
south end of Cherry.
All right.
Everybody knows that everything is changing fast, and I'm talking about the internet and what's going on out there. Manistee in '77 started losing a few things. Never got replaced. And I lost the business because of a casino. A lot of things changed when they unlocked them doors. So I says, okay, I'm not gonna fight with it. I went to work in a factory in Ludington. And then my wife and I started looking, thinking, talking, what can we do next? So then we started paying real close attention to the internet and started studying how to build websites and of course what this AI is doing. And it's moving like the speed of light. And so anybody who's got any thoughts of doing business in town, I suggest that they hook up with the internet,
Okay.
learn what it can do, and what it can't do, and then come back in here and maybe do a brick and mortar store. A lot is changing from what I've seen. Thank you.
Thank you. Oops. Anyone else? No? Okay. Move along to new business. We have none, correct?
None.
Okay. Old business, 300 Care Center Drive update.
Yes, I, had a meeting a couple weeks ago. There's still several candidates that are interested in the 300 Care Center. I did want to let you know that Marlene, they really appreciated watching the video. I sent them the newspaper article, the video, our minutes, and they really took it to heart that they really are interested in putting 55 and older.
Oh, wonderful.
They've even got it down to the point of when we met with them, that the design, the views of the lake, pickleball court, gardening, community gardening, incorporating the housing next door in with them, including them. The property is large enough that possibly in the future, they could add another building and an additional building, up to 3. They know about the drive, they know about the parking lot, all those things that they need to consider. And they sounded very interested. They were a pleasure to meet with, so I just wanted to give you that update on them.
That's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
our seniors, you know, they've spent their whole life here working and sending their kids to school, and now that they're older, they can't maintain a home all by themselves, and I feel we owe them something that they can move into and be safe and comfortable, you know?
Yes, and they also thought about possibly, I think it is at 3 floors or different levels, having, smaller space and cheaper, and then kind of gradually go up. Because obviously, if you went up to the top, you would have the views and some other things. So trying to get a well balance of income in individuals. Single,
Great.
Yep.
Appreciate your time with them.
yep,
If you look back at the old history up there, to the north, there used to be a older part of the whole original hospital there. The part that's there now is the newer part.
Oh.
There used to be the old part that had salt baths and all that on the north.
Very Victorian looking.
That's where the nuns used to live up there,
No,
in that building.
yeah, some of them.
After it was, it was originally the salt baths.
Yeah.
But then some of the
Yeah, so-
sisters.
But I'm
The place was
surprised that
substantial.
they,
It
did
was
they
sub-
realize
larger.
the upgrade to that drive, Care Center Drive?
yep,
That's-
they're
that's-
considering all of that. Yeah, that's a lot.
Gonna be a costly affair right there.
Yep,
That
The
Care Center
drive.
Drive, if they gotta upgrade that.
No, the city's
City
already
does
got
not,
it.
city does
Yeah.
not own that. That curved right that comes up, the city does not own that.
No.
No. The Care Center drive.
The driveway.
No, the city does not own that. That is a private drive that the city actually only happens to
Yeah,
paint
that's the
and
thing.
plow.
And I thought that I saw that they had that in the 5-year plan to redo that road.
But it's not a city street.
Oh,
The main city, the street is the Care Center Drive coming up by the credit union, up the hill there.
yeah,
Going down that curved hill, that is a private drive.
yeah, that's gonna be a costly affair right there, I think.
One thing with 300 Care Center Drive, and I ran this by Bob and Mick, for veterans, tunnels to towers.
yes,
They're purchasing hotels around the country, building homes. Maybe it's a fit,
yep,
so, something to think about. If this other one goes south, maybe reach out to them.
well, and still to reach out to them,
Yeah.
see something else that comes up,
Yeah.
absolutely.
The closest veterans thing I can think of is Grand Rapids.
Yeah, it is.
And I know Mick lobbied for a veterans, clinic here, back a couple of years ago.
Yeah, they were.
God, that'd be a nice fit.
Yeah,
You could have everything in one.
Cadillac
all in
ended
one,
up with it.
right,
Yeah, that'll never happen, but,
Well, don't say never.
Oh.
Never is a bad word.
Okay,
So,
I'll never say never.
okay, that's a good thing, Roger. All right,
All right,
thanks, Raj.
you're welcome.
Okay. Prince, okay. 91 and 99 Arthur Street, update.
So not much of an update, just that the communication line, we're still talking. Of course, we know that that's the old Little Caesars, and just that Eagles a slow go. Just, trying to work with Eagles, so that was it.
Yes, they are.
Yep.
Okay. 240 Arthur?
So 240 Arthur, I am now, I put it on hold for some other circumstances and other reasons, but I am now going to be speaking with them about finally getting the temporary sign down, and that's going to be our next tackle. So I know that's been a long time coming, but I'm going to be working with them, so.
Which building is that?
The what is it, OUID, weed, yeah.
Used to be the cable.
It used to be Charter over
A
there.
charter,
Yeah.
okay, the old charter
On a
building.
curve,
Yeah,
I thought.
with the temporary sign.
Dealership before that.
It's GMC.
Was that?
Terrible location
Okay.
for a car dealership.
Master plan up,
Bad one. before they-
master planning.
Kid Road.
So with the master plan, we did, of course, get all the documents signed, and council signed it, sent that into the state. This is for the grant that we received, which was $33,000 for updating the master plan. $3,000 is for the administrative, and $30,000 is going to be for a company that we're going to be doing a request for proposal, and we'll be sending that out. And also by the next meeting in April, I'll be bringing kind of a list to all of you to review, and we need to kind of go over what is a priority, what's kind of something we'd like, but maybe not necessarily, and some ideas that I have for a list. So then we've got that documentation, so when we do have 3 or more companies propose that, they know what they're getting into and what they are looking at. So I have to do a quarterly update with the state of Michigan for that, and that'll be due at the end of April. So I think for our next meeting in April, I'll have that ready for you, and we'll review that.
Okay. Very good.
Yep. Next, I have some other things, if you don't mind,
Go
I
ahead.
add on there. Okay, the next is going to be Fifth Maple LLC. That is the PUD application with Vider. Right now, we're just kind of putting that on hold right now. We talked, and right now, he's not sure if he wants to continue on with the PUD. I just want to give you that update on that. The next is the address at 457 River. That business is The Outsider. I've had a couple inquiries about the Outsider over Christmas when they had the sleigh bell parade. A few people really appreciated that they had those enclosed little areas and everything else, but as you can see, and I'm gonna pass this around so we can look at it, this is not what is there and what was approved. I have an appointment next week to look at that, and they've got plywood that is there. The plywood is deteriorating, it's bubbling, it's wet, it is
Yeah.
not what was in the master plan, or I mean, in the site plan review. So I'm gonna be going there and taking care of that, so. And some of these things have been brought to my attention with my HDC meeting last night too, so. The next is 435 River. So 435 River. That is, the owner is Joseph Mathewson. This was brought up at my HDC meeting last night, that the permit was to replace windows, some siding, paint, a sign. The application, they did go in front of the HDC for certificate of appropriateness, that was paid. But beyond that, the windows were installed without permits. The windows that were installed were not wood windows, that is part of the error or the time that's supposed to be done, and several other things. Nothing has been completed, nothing has been done. This is going to be coming up for an expiration tomorrow. I didn't realize it's that fast. Tomorrow. So for next month's meeting, I'm going to put a recommendation that we possibly either pause or not renew it, or I'm going to be doing a little bit more work to find out what all needs to happen for the next step with that.
And
So,
what business is in there?
I don't believe any.
Matheson's Upholstery.
Oh,
That one.
Okay,
okay.
Okay.
New one.
All right, the next one I'm going to talk about is 390 River Street. This is the shop at Heritage Square. All of you have seen that the canopy came down that went in front of my HDC as a demolition permit. We approved that. The canopy came down, but right now they're still reviewing all of the damage that has been done by the water. And then it has to go back to my HDC to get approval on what next step is going to be happening. I have approved the sign for the toy, and we can thank Madeline Lamb for doing the sign there at the toy store there with Anita. The next is 435 River Street. Did we talk about? No, we talked about that one, sorry. Okay, the next one is 95 Maple, the library. The library came last night to the HDC meeting and explained to them that they have a lot of water that's been coming up underneath the building. And so they need to do a little bit of interior work, but they also need to do exterior work on some of the drainage and some of the mortar. And so all of that is going to need to go further. They did get the certificate of appropriateness. Also talked with Mark Fetter. That's the first step, but now we just need to find out what all they're going to be using and what's going to be entailed in that, but that's going to be a very costly, expensive project. Also at the same location, 95 Maple, they have got the story park that they gave an example of last night. They want to do a story park. They want it to be handicap accessible. They've got families that are coming in that the kids want to go to the library and do things, but they've got the steep hill to go down the steep hill. They wanted to do something with sensory, flower garden, things to touch, that kind of thing. And so the story park is something that looked really interesting. They were really enthusiastic last night about that, so I wanted to pass that along. The next one is 21 Cypress, which is the old car wash. It's the Scooby's Snack Shack. It's at 21 Cypress, and Marty Spalding is the owner of that one. So this is the sign, and Madeline has helped with this one for the sign.
Could you put it on the,
Yeah, on here,
On the-
sure, absolutely.
I could put it on the overhead,
please?
if the camera cooperates.
Is it on? Yeah, I don't see it.
It's warm enough.
It's warm enough.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I thought we were done.
Oh, she turned it off. There.
So when Marty came in and gave me the proposal of the sign, he really wanted it on top of the building.
You need to zoom in on it more.
Oh, sorry, I need to,
Well, I mean,
okay, so now zoom in on it, okay.
no.
There we go.
There we
There
go.
we go.
Perfect.
There
Thank
you
you,
go.
Laura.
There we go.
Yeah, that's nothing wrong with that.
So this was his vision. He wanted the sign to be on top of the building, and I will show you this next.
Okay.
It's cool.
So as you can see, there would be one on the right side and on the left side. There would be two on there. And when we look at the sign, and I was looking through the ordinance, as you can see, we don't permit signs on top of buildings. So I had a real hard time with trying to figure out what we could do, because the sign is awesome. We love it. Everybody loves it. It's so cool. And we understand people coming across on the highway or over the bridge, coming down the hill, that's what they're gonna see. They wanna know what that is. So going back to this sign, we decided, and we came together and figured that he's going to put either a wall behind it or have it more of kind of like a wall sign on the side of the building. So we're going to figure that out and work that out. So I'll be getting new plans and a new design for that part, so.
So there'll only be one sign?
Nope, there still will be two.
Two.
Yep, still be two.
Same sign though, right, Teresa?
Yep, we're
Okay.
hoping the same sign.
All right,
Yeah.
that's a cool sign.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Very neat.
Sign, I like it.
Kind of little Vegas-ish.
yeah, really neat.
Didn't we just have a big picture?
Oh,
Sign?
50s.
Big
Good
one.
job.
50s, it's the 50s drive-in kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And again, you're gonna be able to get a meatloaf sandwich and a 6-pack of Bud and a pint of Old Granddad, all at the
Just
same
want an
time.
IPA, that's all I need, so, okay.
Sandwich.
Doesn't he have that?
He's making like a deli.
Yes, he's gonna do that.
All right, and then the last thing I need to discuss and let you know is 314 Sibbins Street.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I think we all remember that one.
we do.
Yep.
So this permit expires May 5th of 2023.
Yeah.
And so I'll be bringing this back in April, but I just wanted to give you a heads up, and I'm gonna read the email to you that I sent out just this week. So again, I apologize for some of this being new, but I wanna keep you abreast and keep you up to date of what's been happening. So after the review of the property located at 314 Sibbins Street, I found that a special use permit was approved by the Planning Commission on 5/5/2022 with the planned unit development. This permit was issued and subject to the following conditions and requirements of Article 18. I will be requesting not to extend the PUD. I will be requesting termination of the permit to my Planning Commission at the next Planning Commission meeting, which is April 4th, 2024. We invite you to attend at this meeting. The termination of the permit is part of Article 18. The PUD order shall expire, and it will have the final approval of the applicant has not commenced the construction. Upon written request stating the reason, therefore, the Planning Commission may extend the time for commence of construction. An approved PUD may be rescinded at the time of the Planning Commission for violation of the order by the Article 18. Please review the attachments, and I said that he could contact me. So that's where they're at.
How long ago was that you sent out that?
I sent this March 5th on Tuesday.
Next, across the street from the phone.
Yeah, he came in many times,
Yeah, 4 or 5.
addressing us.
Is Grandos plans?
No, not the gas station.
No, the green building.
The green building on Sibbins Street.
Oh,
No, it's clear as mud,
Fourth and
yep.
Sibbin.
Fourth and
Yeah,
Sibbins.
Fourth and Fifth.
yes.
Is he back in Florida?
The coffee shop,
From Florida?
whatever else.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I mean, where you sent the email to?
Just, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I remember, yeah, he's a character.
So you invited him here.
Yep, invited him here. Also, I just let him know that we have also seen that the property is for sale,
Yeah,
and that we can see the pictures from the inside that nothing has been completed.
yeah.
So,
No, just demolition and inside
yes.
and almost outside too.
I think it's been back on the market for about a year now.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Prices come down. He originally wanted, I think, 1.25.
Yeah, I think it's
believe
down
it's
to
at 80.
83 or something, yeah.
83?
It's gonna be a tough sell.
83,000, yeah.
That's gonna be a
I think
tough
you paid,
sell.
what, 60?
I don't even think he
No.
paid.
Oh, I think he paid like 10 or 25.
Somebody told me it was 22,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
much.
Worthless. I mean, the building.
and that's all I have.
All right, thank you,
we've got
Teresa.
to tear everything down, start over.
Public comments, communication.
Hi, Marco.
Well, 1 second.
Alrighty.
And if I could introduce, this is Shane Machin, this is my daughter-in-law. And Shane is running for the county commission, 7th district.
Yes.
So she's here, coming to our meeting, where city council doesn't come. So that tells you a lot,
It does.
so.
Well, like Mark said, or should I call him Mr. Chair? What do you think?
Either or.
I gotta tell you, I've really enjoyed this meeting. I've been to a lot. This is the spiciest of the bunch. Congratulations. My name is Shane Machen. I have been a resident of the city. I live at 622 Ramsdale Street.
Thank you.
For about 10 years now, and I would not live anywhere else. Yes, sir.
Cody Hill?
But, yeah, very close.
That's you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, the hydrangeas didn't come in last year, so it wasn't my fault. I did everything that I could. That's
Okay.
what you're asking about. But I am running for County Commission, District 7. Some of you may know it's almost entirely within the city. And so I decided as I, began this endeavor that I really wanted to come to all of the city meetings and city council and be really informed about what's going on in the city, because the city's business should be my business too. I should be aware. So my main goal in coming is to really look for ways to collaborate between the city and the county. How can the county be more supportive? What is it the city needs? Are ways that we can improve that communication and that working relationship, but also just because I want to be an informed public servant. And so just wanted to introduce myself. If you see me here from time to time, that's what I'm doing. I would love to stay after the meeting and get an opportunity to meet each of you, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Roger, do you have any questions?
You sure you know what you're getting into? Say, because, once you open a can of worms, girl.
Yeah.
I
I don't think
Good
she's
luck,
afraid.
good luck.
Well, Mark's my father-in-law, so I feel like I've been really prepared. Opportunity.
That's a full-time job.
I'm also an MHS grad, and I'm a lawyer and a mom of 2. And so I feel
Yeah.
like there is really nothing more that the world can throw at me that I haven't experienced through being a lawyer and a mom.
No, you'll find out.
And you got him and your family, that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Learn
good
to
luck. No, I'm good, Marco, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Who is
That's all, Raj?
currently in
Yeah.
the position?
Okay.
Yeah.
Currently, Meg Botzer's in the position.
Shelley, you have anything?
I don't.
Marlene?
No, welcome.
Tammy?
Yeah,
Good luck. I wish
Nick?
you well.
Thank you.
Mick?
Nope.
Bob?
yeah,
Good luck putting up a mark.
yeah.
It's been a while.
As long as
They are
he-
kinda
As long as
spicy.
he doesn't have you carry his golf clubs around, you're all set.
Oh, no. My husband maybe, but not me.
Thank you, Shane.
Thank you all very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Great to see you.
Best of luck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
You
you.
may want to talk to the people about putting up your billboard,
Oh.
because you need to get in early, get the,
Well, it's funny you should mention that I already have a campaign kickoff event on the 26th at 5:30 at the bungalow. So if you'd like to join me. I'd love to
27th.
have you there.
Isn't it?
26th,
26th,
Tuesday the 26th.
26th of March?
At what time?
5:30?
You sure it's the 26th?
I'm gonna look right now because it's.
I thought,
It's on a Tuesday,
It is.
it's 26th.
Yeah,
okay, then I'm wrong.
And what's the time again? I'm sorry.
5:30.
5:30, yeah.
Kickoff event, Tuesday, March 26th,
Is that for the November election?
5:30.
It is. The filing deadline is until April, so there's a chance that there'll be another, I'll have a primary, hoping that being out there early and really vocal and present will, ward off any primary opponents, but you never know. And I'm happy to, work all 8 months to earn everyone's vote.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you,
Good to
guys.
get the young people in, that's good to see, for sure.
Anyone else? Mr. Scara, you were gonna come up?
I was going to, but I think I'm gonna refrain for a month.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Hey, Marco,
Yes, sir.
a question on this master plan.
Yeah.
If I don't, you're putting it out for application. Wouldn't it make sense, or haven't we ever gone with the same group that we did the master plan prior to? Wouldn't that make sense?
What did we do?
They
I
can
mean,
be,
why do we have to find a new company every time we do the master plan?
'cause it's smart too.
Yeah, it's required that we have to put,
Bid it out.
we have to bid it out.
Oh, you have
Yeah.
to bid it out?
Yes, it's required, yep. I mean, we can obviously submit it to them and it'll be if they're interested or not. And they
Yeah.
might not because it's a low paying.
Well, yeah, I know, but
So-
I mean, we've had companies, that come in and create the one fellow was here with his daughter, and they were getting married, and the whole 9 yards. And everybody was sociable, and then the next time you know, you go to another master plan, and now we're bidding out for another company. I mean, you know, you think you can keep something, that's just me thinking.
Okay.
Otherwise, but you gotta bid it out, so, all right.
Okay.
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome, Roger. All right, staff board and reports.
All right, so let's go to the permits that I've given you.
Okay.
So the first page on the permit report, that's gonna be the total fees, the very bottom, you see that, the $1,550. So these fees, I just wanna kinda quickly go over them. Some of these are fees that either, I think it's AGI or AGS, our company that we have, and then also ServPro. No, not ServPro.
Safe Built?
Safe Build, thank you. Safe Build. These were just like a renewal for those. So that's why some of these got different numbers and are allocated a little bit differently. So that's that page. And these are from the building inspector. The next page we flip to, it says the monthly inspection list. So these are the 2 pages, and this is from the building inspector. So as you can see, for the month of February, he was quite busy. He had 54 inspections. So with these, he's got re-inspections, a footing, framing, final, a code, and a lot of rentals. And I think we've talked before a little bit about it. So he has 3 different sections of rentals. And so this year, he's just focusing on area 1.
Yeah.
And the next year be number 2, then the 3, and then go back. So along with him doing all these inspections, he is doing his own letters to everyone. He's doing his own phone calling. He's setting up those appointments. So we are both very, very busy with a lot of these things going on. So then the next, if you flip that over, the next permit report is the sign. And those are the 3 signs for the month of February that I did, and the fees for that were $150. So. Now, if we go to the next page, it says PZE process and totals by type. So PZE is a new process that we just started in January with the BS&A software that we have. So I know all these. Yes, acronyms, everything. So with these, there was the 3 certificates of appropriateness, but as you can see, the fees were $0. Really what we had come in was $150. It was just us getting that transition of how we were putting in the computer and how we were taking the income and all of that. So that has been allocated. The next, I did have a combination that was at 443 Water Street. It was 5 parcels. That was a combination that the assessor and I took care of that, and then we submitted that to the equalization department at the county. And then lastly, we've got the residential land use. Several of those are accessory buildings. And so I needed to go out to those properties, measure them, see what the setbacks are, get the information. The next I just wanted to talk to everybody about, we're going to have the class that I sent you all an invitation to Monday, April 22nd at 5:45 here at the city on the first floor in the kitchen, break room, lunchroom. I'm going to be making dinner for all of us. I'm making tomato soup and kapusta. I'm Polish, so kapusta is sauerkraut, potatoes, carrots, kielbasa. Mark is going to be bringing maybe a dessert and some breads. It will probably bring your own juice or water. And then we're going to have class. We are going to be doing site plan review for the Michigan State University Extension Office.
Nice.
We are going to possibly be doing not another, but an example of like a Dollar General. We're going to look back and see, and we're going to be paired into twos, and Mark and I have decided who's going to be paired with who.
Oh, boy.
And we're going to be doing the site plan reviews, and with that, it's going to be, is this possibly on a corner lot? Do we have enough parking spaces for the size of the building? Is this going to be a roof-mounted sign? Oh, can we have roof-mounted signs? I don't think so. How high can we go on a pole sign? So there's going to be all types of things that we need to reconsider, or we need to consider, and that we're going to review, so then when we have future site plans, we all know what we're doing, and we're going to be able to also have credit for that class, and then Mary Riley is going to be doing that for us.
Yeah, we need to.
All right.
Yeah.
Bob's gonna make cookies.
I got told by Mark, I got my cookies.
See, he delegates. Great.
Yeah, I think Bob will delegate
Anybody
too.
making Kluski?
Yeah,
I'm making the kaboom stuff.
I'll delegate it to my
Oh, do you
cooking
mean
staff.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Baklava?
What's this?
In Zion.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds like I got
I
Monty's
think I've already
meeting the other
delegated the
day.
cookies to my cooking staff.
Yeah, I've got.
Yeah. All right, February
Adlin's
22nd.
former roommate.
Monday, April 22nd.
April 22nd.
April
Where the hell
22nd.
did I get February?
Yeah, nope. Monday, April 22nd, 5:45.
5:45, yeah.
Yes.
City Hall, kitchen,
Downstairs.
First floor.
first floor.
So the next I want to talk about, just very quickly, the Chill Grant, still no applications, still waiting on the state. Tracy has been doing a wonderful job at going to the senior center, talking to everyone there. She's giving out the information. We're updating our pamphlet, updating any information that we get from the state. We're up to right now around 200 people interested.
There was quite a crowd at the center.
Yes, yes. And this is even going through and calling every single person and talking to them and finding out, making sure that they live in the city, and just going over the criterias and some things to get ready for. So we do know when the applications come out, we're going to give everyone the same opportunity and the same amount of time for a week to get those applications back to us, and then we'll have more. And we've told them that we'll contact them through email. We're also going to have someone help with our support staff with phone calling all of those people, because we don't want to miss anybody. We don't want anybody to fall between the cracks of not getting the information. So, and we'll have it on the website and everything. Yep.
Is there going to be any off-site assistance for people to fill out?
Yes, absolutely. We're going to have the second floor, my office, Tracy and I are going to be having during that week different office hours for them to have help. Yes. Yep, absolutely. So the next thing is the Michigan Planner. Everyone except Mark got one of these today. So as you know, I always go through and try to point out something of very interest. And page 10, it's called Advocating and Planning for Pedestrians. I think this is something that we all need to, at home tonight or this weekend, read through, because I think we need to think about this in our master plan. So I think that this needs to be a priority in there. There's some great questions, great things that they talk about. So, yeah.
All right.
And then the last thing I want to ask, or just double check, who do we have on for our guest speaker for next month? We did have,
It'll be Laura Heinzelman.
okay, all right, just wanted to make sure.
I'd like to see if Mark Fetter could come in.
Okay,
So that, I think that's a good play downtown.
Didn't we have somebody cancel on us too, Mark?
That was
That was
Laura.
Laura.
She didn't make it for February.
Oh, okay.
So-
All right, that was her, all right.
and then lastly, the historical district, I covered all those when I added all those addresses that we talked about, so,
Yeah.
yep. Yep. That's all that I have.
Thank you, Teresa.
You're welcome.
Laura, you have anything tonight?
We just finished up with our first ever early voting, and the presidential primary went very well. Just happy to have that in our rearview mirror right now. Have a little breather until starting in June, probably get revved up for August, so,
Wow, yeah.
yeah.
They're very organized, very, very organized.
It
They
went
did a
very
good
well.
job.
Heather's
Good job.
really on top of it, yep.
Good
You are
job.
too.
Yeah, they're doing a good job.
Members, Bob?
Nothing at this time
Okay?
that I can think of.
Right.
Probably remember after I get home.
Well, you will.
What? I'll call you.
Yeah.
I got your number.
I know you do.
I don't ever call it.
And you don't have.
You don't call people.
We gotta get her number, start calling her all the time. Are you coming tonight?
She's like a secret agent with 2 phones. Never know which one you're gonna get.
I don't have the ringer on.
Nick?
The only question, do we have any more demos, blighted property demos coming up anywhere in the near future?
I think our total was at 6, so I don't know what other ones, I don't know which ones that you know about, but I can find that out, I can email that to you.
Just curious.
Yep,
I know there's the one on Fifth Street, but I don't know if they were still looking at selling the property or.
The yellow house?
No, it's the purple house now. It was brown and now it's got purple siding closing it off. It's almost, I guess it's on the corner, or close to the corner.
It's an apartment.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's been empty for
Yeah.
Yeah.
years.
Is that yellow one I see boarded up too? Is that going to be is that on
I-
the list?
That's why I was asking just which ones are still gonna be
Oh,
torn
right.
down.
No,
But I
there-
only know that of 2 of them that have actually been.
no, there's a yellow one that's on a corner that we did have our staff, they had to go out and border up quite a bit of it because of homeless and other individuals getting in there and stuff, but that one's not being torn down or anything. It's just that it's been taking him a little while to do anything. And so we went out there and did that.
That's on Fifth and so.
Yes, that one, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, 2 of them that should probably be taken down.
Okay, but I can find that out for you, Mick. I'll let you know.
I was just curious to see, 'cause
Yep.
I knew there were supposed to have been a few, and I've only known
Yeah,
2.
right,
that
I think-
actually been leveled.
Yep,
It's picture 3 of them, Nick, that I.
Really? There's a third one?
Well, there's one on Davis. There's
Oh.
one below the Care Center
Okay.
Drive.
Yep.
And then there's what you're talking about, so that's at least 3.
and I think they had 6 permits,
I
so.
think they had 6,
Yeah, and
yeah.
I think that was for April, so yeah, I can find those out.
He was taken down. So.
Yep,
DAV, so that's at least 4.
Just takes time for them to get there.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, where the DAV was, it looks good.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
That definitely improved the Davis Street site, I'll tell you that.
It's behind the Shell station.
Did a nice job.
First
Where's
street
that
behind
old
the Shell
white
station.
brick? Pam, you have anything?
Yeah, I do, I actually have 3 things. It's getting to be short-term rental time. That's my pet peeve. I'd love to have the city have an ordinance. Especially since, other towns along the lake shore have ordinances, like Ludington and Charlevoix, and I would really like the city to get a move on and do that. And I know that there's a streetscape guidebook that's available. And I know the DEA is wanting to talk to different groups about what's available. I'd like for the planning commission to see the guidebook, and I'd really.
Okay.
Since we're the ones who do the master plan, I'd really like to have us have some say in what they pick out.
right.
Yeah.
I know they were talking about maybe having somebody from city council or the mayor there. Since we're the planning commission, I really think we need to be able to see what that guidebook says and what they finally recommended. I know one of the complaints was that, trying to get more traffic on River Street and all, that, the highway bypasses it.
Yeah.
Well, the highway bypasses Front Street in Traverse City too, and it's one way, and there's no shortage of shoppers on Front Street.
No.
So that's just my little 2 cents. I don't want to see it too way, but. And the third thing is just a little question, maybe give them a little nudge. And I can't remember the house number, but in between 4th and 3rd, that duplex that's putting up the new garage, it's kind of installed. They haven't done anything for a while.
Oh, okay.
He's working on that as he has time off from work. He works full-time at Consumers in Ludington.
Oh, okay.
He works pump storage
It's
plant.
been a couple of weeks, so.
Yeah, and they've been busy down there.
Okay.
He's-
I'm concerned because it's just raw wood up there right now with all the weather and everything.
right.
To see him,
Yeah, he's building the thing himself.
I know.
Is he tearing down the garage behind you?
Yes, that's the
Yes,
plan
as
as
part
soon as
of the
it's done.
requirements, yep.
It's still there, but it's,
Yeah, we're gonna give them,
Storing the stuff in the building.
yeah.
yep, probably 3 months after the garage is completed, after all the inspections. They have to, about 3 months to give them adequate enough time to put everything into the new garage, and then they'll have to tear that down, so,
I know that they're using it as a garage right now,
yeah,
so.
Yeah.
It's just
I mean,
would
he's
be
making
nice.
nice progress on it.
Yeah, his work schedule, if he's fighting with his work schedule to get work on it.
well, and I know Jerry has been out there a couple times too, so, yep,
All right,
yeah,
it's just, it's the one that I see all the time, because I live over there, so I
No.
see it.
yep.
Okay, that's it, I'm done.
Shelley?
I have nothing.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Marlene?
Yes. I want to know on the Rosemeric buildings that have been sitting down there renewing permits and nothing's being done and stuff, and it's still nothing. The city got after them and everything. What's the status on that?
What building is it?
Rosemeric, empty buildings?
Oh,
It is actually right next door to Madeline's.
Madeline,
Yeah.
yeah.
The boarded up building,
Something years.
I can find out for you.
That thing has been a hot mess.
yeah.
My husband's been dead since 2001,
Rest
and
his
it looked worse even then. You know, it just keeps getting worse.
Right, okay.
Well, at least 2001, it was still open,
No,
was it?
no.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was open in
Yeah.
2001, sure.
Yeah, it was.
I also want to know
Right, you should give
about the apartment thing on the top of the brewery. They were trying to sell as condos. It's permitted for apartments.
Yes.
They were on the MLS, it wasn't,
They've already
Yeah.
sold 2.
at least two, yeah.
And that what kind of was brought up, the assessor, and I don't know all the details with that.
It was, their permits and everything were for apartments.
Apartments, right.
How you can flip it and sell it as a condo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's been a little touchy. I don't know all the details, and I know that I contacted the assessor about it, but, you know, now that they were done with the completion, except of one, I believe, is all that's left that has to, I don't know, during that, if they can sell them as condos or just the apartments, I don't know. And I don't know if that's my role or where my role is with that,
Yeah.
so. Yeah, and to be honest, I don't know. I don't know the rules on that. I've not encountered that before.
But Rosemeric's also owned the building just past the old city drug, the
Manistee.
Beverage.
Manistee. Beverage.
and that's been
Yep.
sitting for a long time too.
Okay.
Does enough to keep out of trouble.
Right.
Is that it, Marlene?
Yep.
Roger?
Well, I see in paper where the project on Washington Street received $1.9 million for that housing project,
Hotel
Northern Hotel.
the hotel
Oh.
project.
Yeah.
Now, so I'm assuming that that's gonna be looking forward. That's the money that they were looking for? Because I thought that's what the holdup was.
The last time he was here, so that would cover
You're
it.
probably not sure.
On
Yep.
Washington.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
That one I've not
Mark
been,
Miller
Mark
was
Miller
working.
called it.
right, I was gonna say, I don't know about that. Yeah,
That was a
Second
historical
one.
renovation grant.
Yeah.
But-
okay,
But they still needed more finances,
Oh,
but
yeah.
that was a kingpin to it.
Yeah.
okay.
And then the second one is I walked during the day, I've got issues with bushes over the sidewalk.
Okay.
Is that something the city would maintain or the property owner?
That would have to go to DPW, and maybe just as a simple complaint or, you know,
All right,
yeah, they would,
so
Be
you
the
can
ones
call
to-
DPW?
yep, and
Okay.
talk to them about that and what needs to happen. Yeah,
All right.
Or you
Yeah.
can go to See Click Fix.
yes,
that one. I know it, I
See,
was,
Click Fix.
Yes.
Actually, you can get to it through the city website
Website.
if you don't have it at the.
oh, yeah, no, I don't have
Yep.
the app.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
It does
still,
work.
It does
Do you have a
work.
Droid or
My
Apple?
husband
Yeah.
did it, and
Yeah, I
it
was just
like
wondering
fixed
that.
within 3 days.
I have, it
Fantastic.
doesn't work.
That's good.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
On Android,
It's because they blocked you, Mark.
apparently. Well, it's a good thing, because I got a few things, so.
Yeah, good, Mark, go ahead, bud.
Temporary structures, I know we talked about that last month.
Yes, and the building inspector, myself, and we've kind of gotten the word out. Anybody has any complaints that they need to get them to us or put it on that app
Okay,
and let us know.
all right,
Absolutely.
all right. Site plan review committee, because Bob and Pam will be on it. Or where are we on that?
I have not asked yet.
Okay,
Haven't asked yet.
but, yeah, we need
But-
those two on it, so.
Yeah. But I thought after we get our April under our belt, then I can really tell them that we need to have you on there.
Okay. So.
Yep.
Right.
I have no idea what to do.
So you two be perfect for it. And then the last one is blight. I know it's what we have in the city, but I would ask that all the commissioners find blight and put it on the app, see Quick Fix, send emails and pictures into Jerry. There's a lot of crap out there, and we need to get it cleaned up, so.
I asked about that to Mr. Blue and a couple other people.
Uh-huh.
They said that they go out, but their hands are tied. They have no authority to issue tickets. And that they have to go to the police department, and they're too busy to come out and write a ticket or help with that.
Okay.
Well, I can,
That's what I was told.
okay, so Chief Glass, Bill, Jerry, I know the three of them, I don't know if there was anybody else. They've been meeting about every 3 weeks, going over blight and really, and the attorney, Tim, that's who it was. They've been meeting about every 3 weeks and going over and reviewing, we need to start moving forward on this. There's been discussion and talk about getting an ordinance enforcer, an ordinance paid position. So again, our budgets are coming up, so maybe putting something in the budget for that. With that person would have the authorization for tickets. Now, if anything is building structure, that does go straight to Jerry, and Jerry has been doing that. But again, it's a long process. He has to do all the correct steps, do the letters, all of that. So right now, they're focusing on like their top 10 right now. But if it's other besides, if it's a camper out on the street or a car on blocks or something, that would go to the police department. So we're just trying to figure out who is doing what, and so they've been working on that.
And I believe that chill grant will have a big impact on that. That's part of
Yes.
the issue is, you can't get blood out of a turnip,
Right.
If it's $30,000 to paint or side your house, and you don't have $30,000, and you're not able to do the work yourself, what choices do you have?
Sure, yeah.
So, and I know of at least 3 cases where the blight committee actually found funding to fix what was wrong. But again, it's a matter of money, and now with
Yeah.
the chill grants, I think, should make a pretty good
Yeah.
start on.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
A lot of them are just so much junk in the yard.
Well, exactly.
Well, and
And that's different,
Yeah.
You can go down 7th Street and
Oh, yeah.
on the south end, and you can see it.
Well, and just to let you know that, this is just an example of our community. Jerry met with a woman that has not been able to live in the house that she bought, except for maybe 3 months, and it's leaking, and there's so many things wrong with it that she's had to move out. She's still making the house payment on that house, but she's paying rent further away up north, so now she's driving, and she doesn't know what to do with this house, and she's like, do I demo it? Do I go for the chill grant? So all these things that we're trying to help, but also, she's got other issues around her house for blight, and so that's how he found all of that out. So it's, again, finding out what our community needs, finding out what the demands are, the help that we need to get, the resources we need to get these individuals. So, yeah, we're trying,
Yeah.
so.
Is there a way that we could get the top 10 list on Blight? Is that a possibility? I mean, just for us to have a record?
I can
You
ask.
talk about it every meeting.
Right. Well, maybe I need to have Jerry come in and actually maybe talk to us about that too. And then I can find out about that.
And
Yep,
with that, having Jerry and maybe Chief Glass, because he's the enforcement,
yep.
so, I don't know. Are the police still short-staffed, do you know?
I don't know. I know that they did hire and they were going through the academy and the recruits and stuff, but I don't know that.
I thought they brought a couple people
So-
on board.
Yes.
Well, they do, but they lost.
They lost a
that's
couple.
just it.
Oh, well,
Promotions,
yeah, I
to get better
Yeah.
job.
Went to other places, cities.
They have two cadets in classes right now. They're scheduled to graduate in May. So hopefully they'll pass everything and be
Yeah.
up and running
Hopefully
by
stay.
summer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, okay.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah, that's good news.
And I know that they're the top of their class also, those two
Ooh,
cadets, so
boy.
that's great.
There you go, that's
Yep.
top of the class.
That's the only things that I have.
Okay.
With that, is there anything else before we close this up? No? Okay, anything? No? Okay. So I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
It is
Seconded.
8:47.
There you go.
Thank you.
You and your gavel.
Thank you for attending.